Yeah, so what that is so like that's really getting like pretty specific into like I call it the ooze, but honestly like it's very similar to I was talking about this Leo Nogueira's like Sao Paulo passing system. Like it's a very simple or similar concept. What it is this, you know, is let me get the guard. So I get to this moment, boom, I'm here, boom, boom, right? Okay. So once I get this leg to clear, there's not a 0% chance that he takes his right hand, pushes my face really hard, arches his back really hard, and starts to create this problem. Like you ever been passing with a knee cut and this kind of, right. So go back. So as I'm ready to accelerate, if I put my head here, if you try to push my face away, please. He's not going, right? So it kind of staples his head to the ground. You could theoretically do this entire pass with that head in the chin. I think the head on the floor gives you better control because you can twist their spine up a lot. More like you can really wrench that head over. But that's basically what we're preventing is if you think of it like the farther my head is this way, the more extended his arm can get to push my face away, right? So the closer my head is to this place, the harder, like the more his arm's gonna be cranked up trying to push it, kinked up, I should say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's
So it's looking away, make him look away.
kind of, yeah. What I like to say is I want to make him like look over his shoulder like he's having a scientific discovery. Like, so my head goes here, and I kind of make him look down and over the shoulder, and it would be right at that conclusion point of the pass. But also at the same time, because I use this like, you know, as we've been doing essentially 2 months of putting your head in the chin, and like, I use this indiscriminately. Like honestly, like I use putting my head in their chin pretty much wherever it seems like it's almost become a bit in my 1030 classes because if they're having a problem passing a guard, I'll be like, have you tried putting your head on them? You know, just getting, say we're in like a half guard or whatever, open guard kind of playing situation. If I could just like get that to happen, it's like move me around please. It's like all of a sudden, I just become hard to move just by putting this kickstand in the way. And then I can, even if he has everything, like you're all framed up, right? If I could just get this to start to happen. I can really start just kind of opening his shoulders up and exposing those underhooks. So it's kind of just a good thing to play around with, just like putting the head in the chin. It's pretty easy to stop arms from leading in for underhooks and things like this, but like just a missile of your head, boom, going right into the chin is pretty hard for them to like prevent. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Killer. So now let's talk about common sense, right? We're in the guard. If my approach to passing is by folding this dude up onto himself, right? So let's actually let go of this. If my approach to passing is turning him up and just squishing, what's his approach to beating this?
Push him back.
Push him back, exactly, right, duh. Like that's very, very simple, right? So I know that that's the direction he's gonna wanna take this fight. And if you use this pass a lot, that tends to be the response, right? I'm here, boom, I'm going, and then if I start going and it gets here, he's pushing me back, right? So what I'm gonna do is if he starts to give me that heat, pushing away, I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I gotta make a pretty dramatic maneuver. This is gonna look peculiar, but I've done this to some people, like, I've done this to some pretty good people, and if you watch Gracie, he does this a lot too. This is peculiar but reliable. So I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I do everything the same, right? I'm going for all this. If I start feeling like I'm not going to be able to pass and he's pushing me away, my elbow goes over the ear. And then I'm, like right now, guys, you see how his head is kind of facing Denzel's toes? I'm going to make his head face Logan's toes. Push me around, please. Right. Then the work from here, guys, and I apologize to Don, this is why we did all these hamstring stretches, is I'm going to walk up his leg.
Oof.
And get to my side and pull him to stop situation. The more pressure, like the more he resists, the more, I'll do this like without my body right now, the more I'm going to go from my body being on his hamstring, up his calf, all the way up to his ankle. So if they got really long legs, if they're making it difficult, just keep moving laterally. So I'll just do this without context. So let's just end here. It's like I want to keep moving laterally to go higher and higher and higher up his leg. So I'm not turning my hips. I'm kind of keeping my midsection facing the floor, and I'm just rotating like a dial. that make sense, guys? So I'm here, boom, boom, I'm here, and he starts pushing me away, so my elbow clears. And then I take his head back. You see how far I'm moving his head, guys? Like I'm not just staying here. My elbow is dragging his head back in space. Watch, look at that guard, hold your guard tight. Look at what this starts doing to his guard, just by pulling him in. From here, I can actually leave under this, and I just start walking towards his head. Get out of here. A very simple idea. I just start turning like a dial. I just attack his guard. Remember, like, for him to assail me from my posture being like so forward like this, is he has to get all of him on one side of me, right? Or all of me over the center line to where he could sweep me. If all of me is back there and crossing the center line, do the whole thing. Boom, starts pushing, catch. It's like moving around. Right, pretty miserable. I mean, honestly, like, man, you just kind of kick your legs out of there if you're trying to be nice. Like, once you have that guard broken up like that, it's pretty, like, if you let them get that far, there's not a lot of viable options. I mean, they might push you back, as Brian was saying, but the thing about that, too, is if they push you back, they just push you back to having posture in the closed guard. So you lose nothing. You want to do that, Brian? Yeah. Let's see. What's flexible hamstrings? Hamza, can I grab you? Would you mind if I did this? Can I grab your shoes? Thank you. Cool. So we're down. Right, I'm here. Working for it. You move the head, big shuffle. And then you start pushing me away, right? So I'm going here. So like push me away, right? It's like it's pretty limited. And then my work is we break this open. Boom, I start walking up this leg. And I'm working out here. I'm out. And if you feel like you're not getting free, just keep getting higher up towards the ankle. Eventually, you know, sometimes Hydra will even like fish the foot in, like he'll grab the foot of the bottom leg, but I don't have a ton of experience with that, so I don't want to speak from a lack of expertise. So, yeah, does that make sense, guys? Excellent. Let's play around with it. 1, 2, 3.